Well, stocks dropping today for a lot of reasons, including the fact the Fed is meeting, and we're trying to figure out where they are. Of course, we're still dealing with a lot of issues. The president, in the meantime, did speak. Initially, I think this speech was to sort of give us an update on ISIS, but it became a vitriolic attack on the GOP, particularly Donald Trump. I want to go to Art Laffer and get his reaction to all of this. Art, first let's kind of talk about the overall economy, the Brexit, the Fed. Where are we right now? Because gold's going up, yields are going down, and there feels like a mini panic going on.
Well, there is that. But if I could just go back to your last one, if I could, on the Russians breaking into the DNC servers and getting that. Did they get Hillary's server? I mean, did they transfer that to the DNC? Just joking, Charles, just joking.
Believe me, you said it, but everyone thought it.
Well, you know, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And they say this gives the Russians this advantage on Trump. What it is really is Trump will have all the stuff they have on him there and be able to respond to it as well. So from Trump's standpoint, as long as they've got it, he might as well know it. But yes, you're right. The economy is slowing. It's been slowing. We've had bad policies for a long time. The president may talk about Florida and all these other things going on and how he always knew what was going on. We have a very, very bad economy. The Fed is panicked. They are having a two-day meeting. I don't think there's a chance from here to Sunday that they will allow rates to rise, and that is terrible for the economy because they are a primary reason why the economy is as bad as it is. By keeping interest rates low, Charles, they have stifled the flow of mortgage money into the housing market and therefore have kept the housing market from recovering because no one wants to invest their money for 30 years at 3.5% in a risky investment.
Well, what about
what
about the German 10-year today? It went to negative yield. I mean,
I rest my case.
You've got $10 trillion worth of sovereign debt that's negative yielding right now. Well, I mean, to me, it just says that these Western nations may have boxed themselves into a corner, Art, where central banks don't work anymore, central planning doesn't work anymore, none of them have the guts, like Paul Volcker and Ronald Reagan, to actually hike rates, take a near-term hit, and spark an economy. None of these governments have the guts to do that.
And you're exactly right to mention Paul Volcker. Paul Volcker, when he was as chairman of the Fed with us, when we came in, he was spectacular. He handled monetary policy. He brought interest rates from way too high, which stifled demand, and brought them down to where it was an equilibrium market, and you had very high TIPS yields, which means you had good growth and low inflation, and that you just have to hand off to Paul Volcker as a wonderful accomplishment, along with Ronald Reagan, by the way. They worked as a team beautifully. And today we don't have any of that. We've got a bad president, we've got a bad Fed, and don't be surprised if the results are really bad as well.
You know, I'm not sure how much you heard of President Obama's.
I did.
It was an update on ISIS. It became something a lot more, a real stump speech. You know, I tweeted, "Move over, Elizabeth Warren, because this is going to be the real attack dog in the race for Hillary." You know, but he's talking about this illegal immigration, and the big argument over enforcing borders, controlling our borders, is a central issue in Europe, particularly in England, where they're going to have to vote on the Brexit. Where do you stand on that? Because we're hearing that the Bank of England has set aside 3 emergency programs. Today we heard that the ECB is ready to lend a hand, and they're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe because Brexit just upends everything that abruptly.
Well, I think Brexit's the right thing to do. I think Britain has not been served well by being part of the European community there. I think they'd be far better served by being closer with us, with Ireland, with the Commonwealth, than they are there. And if I were British, I would vote for Brexit all the way. I mean, I really would. And I don't think Brussels really needs to run all of Britain. I don't think it needs to run the other ones either. But I think it's a bad idea that it serves Venezuela very well, but not Britain.
Yeah,
so that's my view.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think to cede any more authority to Brussels, the folks in the UK would be nuts.
It's just silly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. And on the immigration, we all want immigration, high quality labor at low cost. I mean, it's amazingly good immigration. But you got to control your borders, and you got to know who you're bringing in. You just can't let people come in there and have these types of episodes occur. We have had illegal immigration from Mexico for many, many years, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful boom to the U.S. That doesn't mean we shouldn't control our borders. We should,
right.
But we want to make sure those people who are coming here for economic reasons are allowed to come here. They don't get overly controlled by the government, and it's wonderful. But to allow people to come in who have different views of American society and don't like us and want to blow us up, that we've got to stop. As your friend Larry Gatton says, it ain't rocket surgery.
Yeah, you know what? We'll follow that one under the common sense label. Art Laffer, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much, Charles.
All right.